All right, guys, as Nicole mentioned, my name is Will Hinkson. I'm really excited to be standing up here in front of you guys today. The title of my presentation is Relentlessly Pursuing Your Passion and Knowing Your Why. So first off, I want to start off with a question for you, which is what makes the biggest positive change in the world? The reason why I asked this, and I'll kind of explain it, is this is what led me to being up here on stage with you guys. So I'll go over my background, where I was before and where I am now. I'll go over my belief in consistent positive changes day in and day out. And I also want to go over and inspire you to realize how much positive influence each of you has in the world. So how I got here, 2003 to 2008, I was in the Marine Corps. I was a recon Marine, which is kind of an elite unit within the Marine Corps. Something that I still strive every day to live up to. After I got out in 2008, I was working as a security specialist for the government overseas, and I actually started a CrossFit affiliate in Kabul, Afghanistan, and ran the first CrossFit affiliate at an embassy anywhere in the world, which was an amazing, amazing experience. During that time, I traveled all over the world, not always the best places like Iraq, Afghanistan, Haiti, Africa, and it kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I had a lot of amazing experiences, some good, some bad, but it led me to wanting to give back and wanting to give positivity. And again, I went back to what makes the biggest positive change in the world. During some of that time, I was involved with some humanitarian stuff where we would go in, help pull people out of natural disasters, and I noticed a couple things. One, which is if you don't have water, shelter, or food, and you provide that to somebody, you directly impacted their life. You saved their life. And it's an amazing, amazing thing. But as time went on and I started revisiting some of these places, of course I would occasionally see those people again, and it was incredible to meet them again. But what I noticed was they actually weren't much different than before the disaster. After it, nothing had really changed. Of course, when lives are changed, when you provide those things, it's incredible. But the community was still interacting the same exact way, which led me to a question, which is, okay, if majorly impacting that one person doesn't sweep through the community and provide broad sweeping change, what does? Kind of looked at this over time, and what I saw was consistent positive interactions day in and day out made the biggest change. Here's what I mean by that. I would look at people that were meeting every month and that they were having these family dinners or community dinners, and they would take this positivity that they could provide on or think about and consistently come to it, and they would take that with them as soon as they left, and that would sweep out into the community. Everybody would be talking about it. It would impact for days and days when they would go through it. So I said, okay, leading that to what I have up on the slide here. Consistent positive interactions day in and day out are what I personally believe makes the biggest positive change in the world. I also believe there is power in positive people coming to a positive place to do positive things. And I believe that that's a big piece of the consistency here that allows that to sweep out. So I said, all right, what do I do that's kind of unique to me that I can provide this? And at the time, I was running the CrossFit affiliate at the embassy with a friend of mine. And I said, all right, I love doing this. I actually like doing this a lot more than I like doing my actual job. I would get up at 3:45 in the morning. I would train from 4 to 5. And then from 5 to 6, I would coach the CrossFit class. And then from 6 to 7, I would go back, shower real quick, grab some chow, and then would go about the rest of my day, which were typically 12 to 14-hour work days. So this led me to a question of how I would create a consistent positive experience. And I decided that I was going to start up my own CrossFit gym. But I also knew, one, the position I was in at the time had to be transitioned out of. I was in a leadership position there. And that was something that I had to build out and pass on the right way because of the nature of the work we were doing. But I also knew that I didn't know how to really run a business. So that led me to research. Sean, I probably caught, I was on some of the NP webinars with Sean Greeley, and I probably caught every 7th word because of the way that the internet was overseas. It would be like systems and then client experience, but I couldn't actually see, because they're initials, I actually didn't know what that stood for like a year. I think I watched like 3 of his webinars. So Sean, if we can maybe write those out for the folks overseas, it would help. So, but every night, even after getting up at 3:45, what I would try to do is for a minimum of 2 hours, I would try to work on the business, and I would try to learn. I would try to get smarter. In that time, I got my business degree. I did it all online. I started learning as much as I could. When I was home on leave, my leave was solely focused around becoming a better trainer and becoming a better business owner. I would visit at least 5 to 6 CrossFit gyms during my 30 days. Then I would go back overseas for about 90 days, a little bit longer. I would also go into more and more learning, more webinars, got involved with OPEX and James Fitzgerald, who, for all of you guys that are CrossFit or otherwise, I highly recommend checking him out. Hugely, hugely impactful. But it came to these things, and I decided that the way I was going to make this consistent positive experience was I was going to consistently deliver our members a positive interaction combined with real fitness results, which meant that every time that they walked through my doors, they were getting a positive interaction with my staff. Every time they got an email, every time they got a phone call from us, it was done with intent, and it was done with a consistent message. Get back to those around us through our own unique talents and skills. I spend a lot of time developing our staff and finding out exactly what their unique talents and skills are, and then plugging them into those positions. And anything that they're not good at, I try to pull them out of that, because nobody wants to do the stuff that you don't like to do. It's kind of a bummer. So I also wanted to work hard to make sure we do things right as a business. I said that if this doesn't work, it won't be because I didn't work hard enough. So that led me to a number of things. So last year, July 15th, 2014, took my last flight out of Afghanistan. Hopefully, my last flight out of Afghanistan. Probably not going back anytime soon. I came home to this. Anybody ever done build-outs? Anybody? Yeah. So I came home to that. July 15th, got off the plane, went to Trader Joe's, grabbed some food. July 16th, 6 a.m., walked into that. Spent a couple of months. Turned it into this with a lot of headaches, a lot of things going on. And I actually was on another webinar with Sean, decided to sign up for EA in that time, and then started EA about a month last year before I came out here for mega training. So, which was a pretty amazing experience. I was fortunate enough to kind of glean from the community and get ahead of some of the mistakes that I could have probably and definitely would have made. So there was a lot of obstacles along the way. A lot of things that went wrong. You guys probably experience all this time. Some stuff little, some stuff big. But some of them, this is where I started. Like I said that if this doesn't work, it won't be because I didn't work hard enough. So I was coaching 40 plus classes a week. I was sleeping at the gym 4 to 5 nights a week. I would get up, so I'd get done mopping usually around 11. I would pull out the cot that I had stuffed away in the storage closet, sleep for about 4 or 5 hours, and then get up to coach to 6 a.m. Because I didn't have staff yet, and I didn't know how else to do it, but I also wanted to be a full business, and I wanted to offer this huge range of classes. If you guys ever think about doing this, I don't recommend it. Spend another month and hire some staff. So how MP helped me overcome this, which was a really big thing, is I brought on staff. I created a lot of systems based on, in automation, based on autocloser, multiplier, and duplicator, which are all MP systems in their accelerator program. This one was interesting for me. I've always been a really passionate person. I've never, over the years, especially being in an austere environment, in kind of a pressure cooker, you tend to find out who you are really quickly. And this surprised me. I've stayed true to the vision and the mission of the gym in times of adversity. So what I mean by this is I was so confident in our core values and our mission, even during those first couple months, because, by the way, the last year this time, I had 0 members, not a single member at Mega Training, and I'll back up on that too. So last year, I came out to Mega Training besides volunteering as a CrossFit instructor and then doing it without getting paid, I didn't really have any experience at all in the fitness industry. When it came to marketing, when it came to sales, like, did not understand it, kind of thought they were dirty words, didn't understand that that actually feeds into the client experience, and that's how one of the ways that we serve our communities. So I looked around the table. I had planned to open up the week after mega training last year, and I got the same question when I told everybody about that. They're like, "Oh, how'd the pre-sale go?" It's like, pre-sale? Yeah, what's that? So I just talking around to the people to the left and the right, all of a sudden I realized, like, holy cow, there's an easier way to do this. So I decided to delay the opening for a month and actually launch a pre-sale and put out some Facebook ads, and that was huge. So I highly encourage you guys throughout the weekend and the week to look to your left and right and really engage in these folks in conversation, because you're around amazing people. I was so confident in our core values and our mission that when somebody came in and I knew we weren't the best fit for them, and I knew that they were ready to sign up, I could have taken that money, I could have taken that recurring revenue, but we weren't the best people for them. And the community that we wanted to build, they didn't fit it. So eventually, one of two things were gonna happen. Either they were just gonna stop coming in, or they were gonna disrupt the community, but they weren't gonna get the results. So I was so confident based on the systems, that we were gonna stick to this, that I actually referred those folks out to another gym in town. Since that time, they've actually referred folks back to us, by the way, so you kind of end up getting back on this stuff. I had no vision for long-term stability. You guys heard my story. I was sleeping at the gym. I was spending pretty much every waking moment there. So knowing my numbers and building a staff training system allowed me to have a business and not just a job, which was huge. 10-month summary. I haven't been open quite a year yet, so this is 10 months. This is where we're at. Founders Club, we opened with 35 members. We hired 3 amazing coaches and an office manager. We've got 92 clients currently. Big shout out to Harista. Fit and Lean Challenge, 34 new members and 38K in recurring revenue. Something I'm exceptionally proud of. We partnered with Veterans Refuge Network, which is somebody that's trying to turn the tide of the fact that 22 veterans a day commit suicide. We've got monthly workouts to raise money for deserving charities. A lot of follow-up automation with Infusionsoft, with 6 division protocols built in place. And then we've got 15K a month in gross revenue. I've got some takeaways for you guys today. Some stuff that I would hope that you guys kind of tune into here, and hopefully you can take with you. One of those is establish your why and then chase it relentlessly. When you know why you're doing something and you have your core values and your mission in place, do not let anything stop you. It's time to just keep breaking through those walls, and those walls will absolutely come up. Great systems and business practice put in place frees up creative energy to impact the people around you. If you guys worried about how to make rent, how do I make payroll, how do I make things happen, it's really hard to get creative, right? Because we're trying to make a positive change. Everybody here has got a heart for that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the fitness industry. It's very, very hard to get in there and change that stuff up if all your mental energy is focused on how you're gonna make payroll. Once you know it, you gotta hustle. You gotta hustle and you gotta risk to fulfill your mission and vision. So it's time to go out there. It's time to make the calls. It's time to put in the systems. It's time to learn stuff that you don't like Infusionsoft. It's awesome once you learn it. It was not super fun to learn for the first 6 months. Always strive to give more than you get. If you guys notice, I put strive in there. The reason I put strive is because it hasn't happened to me yet. It seems like the more I give back, the more I get. I can't explain it, but it's just kind of the way it works. Give freely, and it's just amazing the way that everything around you just turns to positive. It's very, very cool. Be aware of the impact you make in your staff and in your clients' lives on a daily basis. Guys, that's huge. I'm gonna read that last one again. Be aware of the impact you get to make in your staff and in your clients' lives on a daily basis. You guys are turning things to the positive. You guys are a positive change in this world. You guys are a positive influence in this world. That one should never, ever be looked over. One thing I do every morning is I've got a journal and I write 3 things that I'm thankful for before I get out of bed. This is just, it's amazing when you guys kind of tune into this, what this looks like. Guys, again, I'm Hinkson. This was Relentlessly Pursuing Your Passion and Knowing Your Why.
Thanks.